Hey guys, it's Destiny, and today we're going to be doing a tier list review where we take a look at the most recent changes made to Pride Wins tier list, and then we also just come together and share our thoughts on the tier list, especially with now the release of Phainon. Also, I do have a bit of a sore throat, so that's why my voice might sound a little different this video, but regardless, I'd love to know if any of you did pull for Phainon yourselves, and if you did, how are you enjoying him? Or if you're actually planning to skip him for someone else and for who. And lastly, if you do enjoy videos like these, do make sure to subscribe, leave a like to support the video, and now let's get straight into it. You can see with Phainon's placement, he is actually in tier 0, tier 1 in pure fiction, and also tier 0.5 in APOC, which I'm not too surprised by his memory of chaos or APOC rating, as he is performing very well currently in those modes. And when it comes to his kits overall, he can highly take advantage of going the sustainless playstyle just because of the fact that when he uses his ultimate, he'll be able to depart all allies, so your allies won't have to take damage while his territory is active, and then on top of that, he'll be able to retain all the buffs he received from allies while he is in his territory as well. So because of that, he'll be able to highly take advantage of the buffs that allies were able to give him, and even if these buffs have a shorter duration, and he is able to deal massive damage onto enemies with his enhanced skill, that takes advantage of his Scourge stacks, which you are able to, of course, get Scourge with his basic attack as well as one of his enhanced skills based on how many enemies are present on the field. But overall, when it comes to his placement and Memory of Chaos, I definitely expected him to be higher up, which as we can see, they did place him in tier 0. And even if we are considering Phainon without his signature light cone, he could use a light cone such as On the Fall of an Aeon. That is still a pretty nice option you can consider using on him just as a free-to-play option. He does synergize very nicely with Harmony characters due to him being able to retain those buffs, but there is a notable mention when it comes to the Nihility characters, one being Cypher. The reason I mentioned Cypher is because she still will be able to record the damage that Phainon is dealing while he is in his territory, so because of that, that'll be very useful in the case of if Phainon exits his territory and now you're working towards getting enough core flame to go back in his territory. If the enemy only has a bit of HP left, Cypher could definitely finish off the fight just by using her ultimate, which can definitely assist with achieving a low cycle clear overall. So Cypher is definitely one of those characters I actually really like with Phainon because of this, since she will be able to deal with that extra bit of damage output if need be. But of course, there are other supportive options you can use with Phainon as well. You can consider Tingyun. Tingyun's ultimate is going to give him 2 core flame, since she also has an energy regeneration effect with her ultimate. So Tingyun is a nice budget-friendly option. You can use Remembrance Trailblazer for mem support for the true damage buff. Sunday, of course, is a very nice partner for Phainon, as he will be able to advance him forward, provide him damage boost, crit rate, crit damage. Sunday's ultimate being able to provide energy will now result in Phainon getting 2 core flame from Sunday's ultimate, and so on. You can consider using Robin. Robin can also be a nice option when it comes to her buffing capabilities. You can use Ramei. There is also the potential of Yukong and much more. I have gone over a lot of supports you can consider using with Phainon in my previous videos. And at the moment, he highly takes advantage of sustainless. Even if you were to use a sustain though, Phainon does have a trace where if an ally provides some heals or shields, he will get a damage boost from that. And that trace does assist with the damage loss that you would have if you did use a sustain over sustainless. So that is a nice touch that he has within his traces. And over time, I have noticed this trend though, where the newest DPS character is typically in tier 0. I believe the main case that didn't start off in tier 0 was Anaxa, if I'm not mistaken, when it comes to this DPS category here. But I have noticed, especially with the 3.0 DPSs, a lot of them end up in tier 0. But as we can see, Mighty already dropped from 0 to 0.5. Personally feel like a lot of the DPS characters maybe should start in tier 0.5 first. And as you guys can see, Anaxa has this little eyeball icon. I feel like that would be a very nice way to go, especially considering the fact that when majority of characters I feel like release, they also are accompanied with a Memory of Chaos that is very nice for them in the sense of it catering to their kit, catering to amplifying their potential even further, whatever it may be. And I'm not saying this necessarily in relation to Phainon's placement, but more so just how a lot of the DPS characters I've noticed are going in tier 0 on their release. some Memory of Chaos turbulences definitely make some characters appear as though they are stronger than what they may actually appear to be, if that makes sense. Testing them out in a future Memory of Chaos or even the Memory of Chaos after that, whatever it may be, just to fully grasp where a character's placement should be, especially if we are here considering E0 as 0. That's just personally something I've noticed and something I've been kind of thinking about for a while now. Regardless though, as we can see, Phainon did get placed in tier 0. I'd love to know what you guys think about his placement. And do you also agree that all the damage dealers here should be in tier 0 when it comes to Aglaya, Asterisk, Phainon himself, and then also Herta? And then if we take a look below, we also have 0.5, which has a Naxa. He's currently staying there. It does appear that he has the eyeball icon though, so he might end up getting a different placement soon. And then we also have Mighty, who recently dropped. And then if we check out tier 1 and 1.5, there are quite a lot of characters stacked in these categories now. So in tier 1, they actually dropped Acheron, which I am still not sure if I 100% agree with this, only because of the fact that we just got the Silver Wolf buffs, and we also just got the release of Cypher, two partners that Acheron can nicely take advantage of. I've actually showcased Acheron recently alongside the new Silver Wolf, as well as Cypher, just to show off how the team synergizes, and they were able to get a pretty nice clear overall. So I'm not too sure if I would 100% agree with the Acheron drop, especially because of those two characters. Silver Wolf now being able to decrease the defenses of all enemies. This is very useful when it comes to Acheron's AoE potential, especially with her ultimate. So because of that, I'm not 100% sure if I agree with this drop, honestly. And we can also see that Rappa dropped as well, which it appears that all the break characters also dropped. I'm not 100% sure if I would agree with Rappa and Boot Hill in particular. I still have been seeing some pretty nice Boot Hill clears, but of course we are considering E0 S0 here. That may end up changing up the clear time, of course. And when it comes to break in general, I have seen a lot mention that they do feel like break is struggling just a bit recently in comparison to, let's say, our crit damage dealers when it comes to Aglaya, Castris, Phainon, Herta. Now, of course, they are still in the meta character category, so they still will be able to clear the content that they were fighting. I'd love to know, though, what you guys think about the drop for the break characters, if you would agree with that or disagree with that. You can see, though, that Blade went up, which I definitely can agree with this. I think all of the characters went up that were buffed. Yeah. Kafka went up, Jingliu went up, and so did Silver Wolf. So I 100% agree with all of them going up. In Blade's case, he is now full HP scaling. He doesn't have any attack scaling in his kits anymore. And then on top of that, now when he uses his skill, he'll be able to increase the likelihood of him being hit as well. And this results in him being able to take advantage of his follow-up attack more frequently, since he is more likely to get targeted. It was overall a pretty sizable buff that he did receive, which can definitely help when it comes to his potential in endgame. And it is pretty nice to see Blade going up on the tier list. We also have Jingliu, who went up, and she does have the eyeball icon as well. There is a possibility for Jingliu to go even higher, which Jingliu being full HP scaling now as well was a pretty interesting change that they did do. And her being able to have more syzygy stacks, far better uptime now with her transmigrational state, highly helps with her damage potential, as you do not have to deal with as much downtime now with Jingliu, especially with how she's able to get syzygy stacks in multiple ways. This is very good for Jingliu being able to be pretty consistent, I would say, from my testing so far. Her being able to deal consistent damage with her skill, her ultimate, and so on. So I can potentially see Jingliu actually maybe going to tier 1 in the future. I do think her changes did help her out a nice amount. As for Kafka and Black Swan did go up, which I could definitely agree with this as well. I was pleasantly surprised with Kafka's buffs, and I love using the new supportive build on her with the tutorial and then the eagle set, as she's able to frequently get her ultimate, especially with tutorial equipped. And let's say you had an energy regen robe, Kafka will be able to get her ultimate very frequently, which results in her just constantly detonating the damage over time on enemies. And she's also able to provide a huge attack boost to any ally that has over 75% effect hit rate, which in this case, Black Swan will definitely have over 75%. So Black Swan is going to be able to nicely take advantage of that attack boost. which now results in even more damage output from this duo. And then what's even better about this is, let's say you were using tutorial on Kafka, Black Swan will be able to reduce enemy defenses with her skill, which does assist with Kafka being able to take advantage of this in order to get more energy with tutorial. And I cannot wait to honestly see the potential that damage over time will have in the future, especially with our upcoming damage over time character in 3.5. And the reason why I'm referring to them as an upcoming damage over time character is simply due to the Divergent Universe buffs that they provide are damage over time centric, which heavily implies that their kits will be revolved around damage over time. I am very excited to see Kafka's potential in the future. It is really cool to see her now in tier 1. And also having, of course, Black Swan there as well. Kafka also being able to detonate damage over time more frequently now is very useful. Her being able to take advantage of 2 follow-up attacks now is also great. We also have Silverwolf, which Silverwolf has had amazing buffs. I have seen some argue that she's even had some of the best buffs out of all the buffed characters. Her ultimate now being able to reduce all enemy defenses is huge. For her being able to be nicely utilized alongside a blast damage dealer or even an AoE centric damage dealer. I did mention Acheron earlier, so Acheron can highly take advantage of this change. And of course, any of our blast or AoE damage dealers can also nicely take advantage of this in order to take advantage of that huge defense reduction onto all enemies. So also prioritize implanting the weakness elements of the first character in your team slot, and that'll be really handy when it comes to not having to deal with RNG in relation to what element is implanted onto an enemy. So this is very good as well when it comes to the quality of life aspects that Silverwolf has. And I can definitely agree with her increase on the tier list overall. They were very nice changes when it comes to her debuffing potential, which will further amplify the team's damage potential. As for Jiaoqiu and Fugue, I did see that they dropped, which if I were to guess Fugue's drop is not really due to the case of the other break characters getting dropped as well. Linksha also got dropped, as we can see. I feel like there could be a lot of debate regarding that, whether or not they should have all been dropped the way they were. And in the case of Fugue, she is still able to provide pretty nice benefits when it comes to break teams overall. And for Jiaoqiu, he also got dropped. All the changes that Silverwolf received, now she is in the tier 0.5 slot instead. And also with the release of Cypher, that actually makes a pretty strong team for Acheron over here. And I have personally actually been using Silverwolf, Cypher, and Acheron more frequently as of lately in comparison to using her alongside Jiaoqiu. Jiaoqiu, though, is still a strong partner to pair alongside Acheron, especially because of his Ashen Roast mechanic, but Silverwolf and Cypher are both very powerful options to use as well. As for the rest of the tier list, Clara got dropped, Ratio got dropped, and so did Don Hung. For Ratio, I think this is kind of interesting, considering the fact that Cypher is actually a pretty nice partner with him. As for the sustains, we currently only have Huohua and Hysilens in tier 0. I would love to know if you guys actually agree with this placement. Huohua has shown over time that her being able to provide the energy she does with her ultimate is very, very beneficial for multiple teams that we do have when it comes to Aglaya. When it comes to using, let's say, Sunday Robin and Huohua as a core overall, Huohua being able to provide that energy is very useful for Robin getting closer to being able to use her ultimate, or Sunday being able to take advantage of his ultimate more frequently. And then, of course, depending on who your main damage dealer is, they'll also be able to take advantage of that energy as well, which results in more ultimate usage. Which in the case of our upcoming characters, Saber will nicely be able to take advantage of Huohua as well. And then for Hysilens, Hysilens is a very powerful sustain when it comes to her damaging capabilities, being able to heal the team, and so on. I would just love to know though if you feel like at the moment Huohua and Hysilens are the only two that should be in tier 0, while the rest of these characters here are in 0.5, being Aventurine, Gallagher, and Linksha. I can personally understand why Huohua and Hysilens can be up here in tier 0, and how nicely Hysilens and Huohua pair alongside the newest damage dealers. I can see why they are currently in tier 0. Overall though, I'd love to know your thoughts on the Memory of Chaos tier list. I might do a review for Pure Fiction and APOC potentially. I was gonna touch on them a little bit during this video, but unfortunately I feel like my sore throat is honestly getting worse as I keep talking. So because of that, I will probably have to wrap up today's video. I hope you all did enjoy this video, and if you did, do make sure to subscribe, leave a like to support the video. Let me know all of your thoughts, of course, and I hope to see you all next time. Peace.